welcome to this edition of Road Warrior. I'm your host, Grant Robertson. Today we try out the 2013 Nissan Sentra. Now for 2013, the Nissan Sentra is all new. Now I've actually had a Nissan Sentra way back, and I've actually watched the evolution of this vehicle. And what I love about it is, of course, this is an econo car. It's small, it's a subcompact, but over the years it's actually gotten a little bit less geekish, because we all know when the lower the price tag, you're obviously going to go a little bit more geek. Now in this vehicle, of course, you're going to have smaller tires, but basically they've redesigned it so it has some nice appeal, and it now, of course, Nissan's always competed against Honda, the Toyotas and things like that, and of course it's a strong contender in that segment. Now when you look at the exterior stylings of the Nissan Sentra for 2013, there are just a little bit of styling cues that have changed, but take it to a whole nother level. Of course, you'll notice right off the bat a new belt line, kind of an edging that's different. You also notice the rear taillights actually wrap around the back side. Now by the numbers, of course, you're sitting on 16-inch wheels. Overall, the actual length has been increased by about 2 inches at around 182 overall, and your wheelbase has also been stretched by about an inch at 106. Now what that means is this subcompact vehicle actually starts to kind of enter into the mid-size sedan segment. It actually feels bigger than it actually is, and what that translates into is actually interior volume and interior legroom. Now it has been trimmed just a little bit on the width and the height, but overall the back legroom is impressive, and we'll get into that just in a minute. Now styling changes again wrap around to the front here. What you're going to notice, of course, on this vehicle, there's body color all around, which I love. Sometimes on these low econo cars, you're going to notice a lot of rubber fascia and things like that, but on this vehicle, body color and a little bit of chrome here and there. You got some, of course, on the grille and also accented on the door handles. Now what I love about this vehicle is that it's a subcompact, it's an econo car, we get that, we know it, but still you shouldn't compromise on styling, and they've done very well with this vehicle coming from way back years ago that I remember to this vehicle. They've enhanced it. They've made it very regal looking, and again, it's a subcompact, it's econo. You're not going to confuse it, but it's just nice styling cues for 2013. Now again, they've lengthened this vehicle just by a little bit, and what I think is great about that is it actually adds to more cargo room. Now before we get there, one thing I forgot to mention is this has got kind of a smart key system, and that means there is no traditional key that you're typically used to, and that's surprising, of course, considering this is a subcompact and an econo car. Now saying that, what you do, of course, you've got the electronic release right here, and it pops up just fine. Now what you'll notice with most sedans, and of course this subcompact, is there's just a little bit of access right here, and it actually is very cavernous and actually goes way back. Now by the numbers, it's around about 15 cubic feet back here. Now that's 2 cubic feet more than last year. Now as always, if you're carrying items and you actually need more space, the actual back seats actually are split and will fold. You basically just access them through the cabin and fold them down. Now inside this Sentra, the biggest thing that I noticed is the technology and that it's far from econo looking. The biggest thing I noticed, of course, is the kind of interactive screen that you have right here. Now it's not ginormous and actually like the MyLink system that you'll find on the Chevys. Now it's still interactive and it has everything you need right at a touchscreen, and does have some corresponding buttons unlike the MyLink, which is totally related to the touchpad. Now down here, of course, you got the typical climate controls. These are a little bit higher end right here. But what I love about this whole design is it's not clutter, it's not cheap feeling, it's very high end. And again, you do have the start push button that we talked about earlier, and again, takes this to a little bit higher level, and it's just a different class feeling vehicle. Now once inside the vehicle, you want to obviously look at the numbers, and I'm talking about a whole bunch of different. The first one, of course, is legroom. How much space does it have? Now what's great about this vehicle is, of course, they've stretched it. You do have a longer wheelbase, and that really kind of is enhanced right here inside. You'll see it. The biggest thing, of course, is you got over 40 inches up front. That's typical legroom, and you got plenty. Now what's great is that kind of lengthy wheelbase they've added actually adds plenty of legroom in the back, and what I'm talking about is about 37 inches, and that's class leading in this segment. And what I like about that is this is a subcompact, but 37 inches of legroom in the back is really more mid-size kind of feel. And what's great, even with the driver in its furthest back position, still plenty of legroom for my full 6-foot frame. And other features in this vehicle, of course, you got about 6 speakers in here that makes for good sound quality. You do have the 5.3-inch touchscreen that we talked about earlier. And now what I like about that is it has the Bluetooth capability again with your phone, which means, of course, you have hands-free calling. Now one thing I did notice at first, I thought it didn't have the Bluetooth streaming of your music. What I did notice is that I had to find it, and what it is under the auxiliary button. You actually have to press it twice. The first one's going to be kind of the connection between the cord and the phone. If you press it again, it will actually then go into the streaming part for your device. So it does take a second to actually realize it's there. Now some other features with this that I haven't noticed or I actually couldn't figure out is actually text to talk. And what that is if you get a text and your phone is connected, it actually reads you the text. It does have actually also some weather streaming related to satellite radio if you subscribe to it, and a whole bunch of interaction that you have here. Now overall, the vehicle is just a kind of a nice upgrade. On the dash, you find some other items that you typically wouldn't find on a vehicle, which is some cruise control settings, obviously here, but your audio settings, your song select, things like that. So again, we're in the subcompact, we're in the Econo lineup, but you've got a lot of kind of leading class technology in this vehicle. Now the Sentra comes equipped with two options for the transmission. It comes with a 6-speed manual or the Xtronic CVT that you have here. Now what's great about the automatic transmission is an improvement from the CVT from last year, and what they've done is they've actually added a little bit better acceleration, better gear ratios, and better fuel economy. Now on this vehicle, of course, you're not going to have the manual-like option, and what I did notice, of course, off the line is it is a bit anemic. Now again, this is only an inline 4-cylinder 1.8 liter specifically, and it's just kind of typical anemic power. So you do throttle it, you do hit it, but it's just a little bit of lag, and it's going to offer a lot of a scream when you get behind the wheel. But overall, it's what to be expected. Again, you're going for fuel economy and kind of econo pricing with this vehicle, not speed demon. Now, of course, under the hood is where all this massive power will be, and of course, I'm joking here. Now, the first thing I noticed when you go up to pop the hood, it's typical operation. Now, what I did find is this, of course, not hydraulic lift, and that's to be expected. But the one thing I couldn't find is actually the lever that holds it up, because they've actually moved it. It's actually right here. So that's one thing to just kind of take notice when you get this vehicle. Now, what you'll notice, this is a 1.8 liter, like I talked about, 4-cylinder engine. Now, it's going to deliver modest horsepower, around about 130 horses, 128 foot-pounds of torque. Now, again, that's not get-off-the-line power, and that's to be expected, because what you're looking at on any vehicle in this class is economy, fuel economy specifically. And what you're going to get, of course, is 30 miles per gallon plus. And you'll notice that right on the dash, I forgot to mention, is right behind the steering wheel, there's actually a by the second fuel economy rating. And it actually tells you, based on your driving, your gas, how you're driving the vehicle, actually what the vehicle is delivering. And that's what's great, is you've got instant information when you need it. Now, this does it for this edition of Road Warrior. I'm your host, Grant Robertson. We tried out the all-new 2013 Nissan Sentra. Now, again, some things have changed, of course, to the exterior. We've advanced a long way from the evolution from whence it came. New front end, new kind of midline, and again, kind of smaller tires typically to be expected. Again, we got a kind of anemic power in this vehicle. Again, what you're going to see on these kind of subcompact econo cars. Getting great gas mileage, and of course you know what the gas mileage is as you're driving, because it tells you right behind the steering wheel. So as always, I'd like to thank you for watching this edition of Road Warrior. I'm again Grant Robertson, and as always, keep both hands on the wheel and eyes straight ahead.